Hi, I'm Danie Connolly from the Art Posse, and I'm here at the Freedman Arts District where we are having a pastel class today. And it doesn't matter how old you are, I'll give you enough time, put your TV on pause and grab your pastels. And let me tell you something, you could buy these with all the different colors for about $10 if you go to one of the local stores. And it'll do just as fine a job as if you bought a very expensive one piece that was $4 for a chalk. So don't worry about what you have for equipment. If you don't have a canvas that you can paint black, don't worry. You can do it with a paper bag from the grocery store. Cut it. It's plain. Put your iron on, iron it flat, and then use that. Don't ever let anything like that stop you. So I'm glad you're here today. And today we have a fun picture. It's called, I painted this quite a while ago. It's called The Royal Birds of the Palace Trees. And it has a bunch of birds that are colorful. Nobody looks alike, just like people. We all look different. And they all live together harmoniously. And they carry their kids on their legs in their nest. So I gave them all crowns, which I think is a good thing to do a lot of times, is to, you know, when I'm cleaning my house, I'll always put my tiara on, who doesn't? And we'll get started now. So I always bring a ruler and I never use it, I'm just saying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start. So if you look at this painting, let's start with branches. Not too many, but we're gonna start. Ready? So here's one. You're gonna go down here and like this, and then maybe over here and like this. And then have a branch come this way. So now you've got your branches and it's time to put the birds on. But let's figure it out. Let's put some birds that have colorful legs. So we can have a bird, that bird's legs. This is this bird's legs. This is this bird's legs. Both the same size. And then we'll have a bird coming over this way. Maybe he'll come down. So he's holding on there. And then here's another bird that will be here. So it looks like I've just put a bunch of 11s on some brown streaks, but the next part's gonna be fun. You're going to make the bodies. And so I like to do a body that looks like it's looking at something, and then this is gonna be the face. And then let's have some really cool feathers and go crazy. So here's another one. Now, here's where that bird is, and I think you need to have another bird talking to this bird. So I'm doing this with one color, but we're gonna change these to all different things. Oops, you know what I didn't do? I didn't give the bird down here. And so don't worry about if you go through the branch with this, because you're going to be looking at a whole bunch of flowers that they're going to. Okay, you don't see that line anymore, so don't worry about it while you're doing it. Here comes another one that's going to be coming in, and maybe I have him picking up a tree that's got a flower on it. And this one here is gonna go over here, and it's just maybe a little kid bird or a fledgling. And here's this one is gonna be hanging from the top, but going this way. All right, so this doesn't really look like much right now, does it? That's okay. We're going to see all the tails, how different they are. Well, let's start making these tails really cool looking, okay? And this, sometimes when I would teach people how to do this, they tell me that they can never look at a bird with just one color. So the cardinals just don't do it for them anymore. They can build a better bird. So I just listen to them and have them tell me that they are now making their cats look colorful in all kinds of different ways. So we've got birds. Let's do this. Let's make some leaves. Okay, so here's, the reason I'm doing this like this, because I think it's important that we know spacing. And I'm about to show you something kind of fun, but I've got to get the leaves in first. And let me see, we'll have one going in. So let's have the leaves be a host to these kinds of, right there. They're just hanging, and I'm going to say that they're pretty delicious. And maybe there's one over here. So what I want to ask you is, when you paint, do you paint with a room in mind? Are you painting to put it in the kitchen, over the fireplace? Where do you think that would be a place for this? Sometimes my artwork goes into a bathroom or a dressing room or a hallway, and I'm okay with wherever they put it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to give these birds my famous 3 dots, which say it's from the same tribe. Like I'm from the posse where all my artist friends do crazy paintings, and we have fun times doing them. But they know that they can do whatever they want as long as they're having fun. It really doesn't matter to me what they paint, as long as they go, that was fun, I think I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it when my girlfriends come over, or my kids come home or something. So right now I am giving these flowers some dimension. Whoops. And you'll have to write to me and tell me I missed something. And I'm also going to give these flowers some leaves of their own. And so let's see where. Okay, I guess I have plenty of these, and we'll fill these in. And we're going to make the branches much stronger, because they don't look like they could hold all this stuff otherwise. So the way you make the branches stronger is you make them thicker, and that's probably the easiest thing you can do today. All right, so now I'm thinking that no, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go back here and grab this brown, and it's a different color, which is gray. So we're going to go now, right? It's like a 2-tone brush. And the reason why I'm putting this on before I put the toenails on all the birds is so that you can see that there's space there. So, okay. All right, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the rest of the dots on the birds. I think I missed this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And something that you probably can't see is we're going to put some nest. Like these are where they carry their kids when they are, say, at the playground. You might have one on a swing and the other one is too little. And these are just a whole bunch of moms, and these are the dads. So, and I'm not going to put one on this one because we already know that's going to go crash into the ground. And so let's do a couple of little birds in here. maybe one bird in here, maybe one bird here, and there's one turning this way. And are you ready for the crowns? I like to put everything in before I start coloring this, because we need to know where all the crowns are going to be going. And this makes them the royal birds of the palace trees. And let's see, that's pretty good. I think I'll fill them in. This is not 100% gold, in case you're asking, but it'll do in a pinch. And don't forget, you have your finger here to do smushing. You know, I love those words, smush, scoot, scoot over here, smush over there. So there you go. And I know I must be driving you guys crazy right now because I didn't fill these in, all right? So you feeling better now? And this is the little hay that holds the nest together. And I would say, should we give these little guys their own crown? Yeah, why don't we? Okay. It could be princes and princesses. Okay. Okay, now, as my mother always used to say that, we would just be going somewhere and she'd say, now. And so I would say, oh, here we go. So let's do the tops of the birds' heads in purple. It's kind of a royal color. You can use really any color you want, but somehow through the years, prince and princesses in all the fairy tales always came up with the purple. And then on the bottom, probably a royal blue. Okay? This is kind of a crowded little perch over here. And then I'm going to reach back now and get the cool colors, and we're just going to start doing some of these colors. Some of them are going to go this way. Let's see. This one here looks like it would be great over here. I haven't put the eyes in yet, so don't worry, guys. Let me see. And I didn't even do any of this guy's tails yet, so we will make his tail go like this. So that's the red for that. And let me see. And not everybody has the same colors, just like not everybody in your neighborhood looks exactly alike. And that's what makes life fun, that they know something you don't know and they have a chance to teach you, and you can teach them something. And I'm thinking, while I'm talking to you, that I've used the greens, but I haven't done any like really dramatic differences, so I'm just gonna add some shading to this and where the light hits it and stuff. And fortunately they're in a tree so that it's all dabbled. And I like it. This is gonna be nighttime because I just do not have the time and energy to paint this all blue first or white, but it'll still be fine. We'll call this like right before they go to bed. And everybody takes their little kid out for a walk. And now comes, I know I say this every time I pick up black or white, the piece de resistance, okay? This is where the eyes are. And very important that you put the eyes in. All right, so I think I got everybody. And let's just accent a few things with the white. The best part about doing something like this is you can do it with your kids and then everybody switch. and then they are at the table and they switch to the left and they do something on that, and by the time you finish, if there's 3 kids and a mom, or a mom and a dad and 2 kids, you've got a whole bunch of different paintings that they've all made. Put them in a frame, hang them on the wall, and you can say, we did that. Because quite frankly, who has more fun than us? We do. So let's make sure we have some fun today while we make all of these cool little difference in colors. And I kind of always like a little bit of let me see. Okay, I was gonna say, I think I put that bird had 2 heads on it. That would have been good. When I was little, I have a story to tell you. When I was little, I used to go to the library in the town I grew up in, Peabody, and they had James Audubon ended up having his lithographs there. And I was about 3rd grade, and I would go upstairs to the top, and the librarian would come down and she would open up these great big lithographs, and she would show us pictures of his paintings, of his robins and his, oh gosh, the flamingos and everything. And to this day, that is the reason why I love to paint, because I was just so enamored by everything. So this is a salute to birds and James Audubon and anybody else, you know, that you want you know, to thank for what made you be who you are. Okay, we haven't got the blue sky, so I'm going to put it inside of these. So when you guys are painting, don't worry about if all of them look the same, because that's going to be your trademark. Your trademark may be that you put dots on your bird, or you do, oh, what do you call it, crowns, or maybe when you do crowns, you do a turquoise dot on every one of your crowns, okay? But you see how we started with just a very black piece of paper, and made it come to life? And you know who did that? You're doing it right now. So while I do a couple more things, listen to some great music, and it'll make you sound like you know what you're doing. Because sometimes when I do this stuff, I'm not sure I do. And they have great birds around here that are very colorful, and they're called buntings. I don't know if there's an additional name to that, but when I first moved down to South Carolina, I was feeding the birds, because that's my thing, and these beautiful birds that looked like they had run through a watercolor set came about, and they were so much fun to watch, and they were just gorgeous. And we didn't have those up in New England, so I was happy to discover them here. And I don't see them that often. And apparently, you have to have what they like, which is basically what happens at any place you go. You gotta give people what they like, and same thing with birds. And I apparently give raccoons what they like as well, and the squirrels what they like as well, and I have surrendered to the fact that I'm not going to win the battle, and everybody gets to sit at my table. So, not the smartest thing I've ever done, but it's a lot easier to have peace. Now, I can tell right now, you guys are looking at this and they're saying, when is she ever going to put this blah, blah, blah color in it? You know what? I may not. I may not know. I haven't done very good at reading minds. So who knows what I'm going to do. But I can tell you that it's bright and colorful. And it's one of those things that when you look at it from far away, it looks one way. And if you look at it close up, it looks another. And sometimes when you look far away, well, we always say this about PPT girls, we look better far away. So I'm gonna beat myself up and say, when you put this on a wall, make sure it's a wall far away so that when you look at it, it looks really good and detailed. But when you get up close, you know what? Life isn't about standing and painting in between the lines. You just want to have a good time while you're painting. So here comes the big part. Do we want to, do we want to put fabulous nails on these guys? Yeah, let's put some toenails on these guys and see how they look. Anybody else? Did I miss something, you guys? Okay, so here you go. That was probably the easiest part of the whole thing, but I hope you had a good time. Now I can do this and smush it all, or, oh, hold on. I think we're pretty much where we want to, well, where I want to be. Do not make yours like mine. Do not. Do it like you like it. And if you have a scarf that's got all these colors in it, then paint that. Paint all the colors you want. There's no way of saying, I have to only use this color. So if you're one of my pals and you're here today, you know that rule went right out the window. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this masterpiece bird, and I'll see you next time.